Hey fam, got some stuff I want to share with y'all. Listen to this gentleman. Listen up now. Here we go.
Are very feminine. They're very demure. They're very modest. They're not combative. They're not trashy. They're not outspoken and loud and obnoxious. They are very honorable women in the sense that they don't just do something and think like, oh, what is this effect going to have on me? They think, oh, what is this going to make my dad look like? What is this going to make my mom look like? What is this going to make my grandma look like? So that's a really good girl to have around, a woman that considers what her actions are going to affect not only her, but everybody around her. Japanese women are very feminine. They're very...
Okay, it's so hard to get it to the exact beginning, but he started out with saying Japanese women, right? And I gotta say, I do notice that the Asian culture is a little different, but we have to remember they prostitute a lot too. In the Asian culture, when our men are in the service and stuff, those are the women that they usually go to pay, to have a good time with. But let's talk about the good things about them. And we can take a lesson. So perk up those ears, ladies. What he was saying is that they're virtuous, basically. That's it. The virtuous woman that the Bible speaks of is a woman who has self-respect, some dignity and class, and she enjoys her womanhood. She's ladylike. She's not silent. She has things to offer because she's a human being, right? So there's balance in everything. I believe that for myself, because I'm speaking for as a black woman, I'm speaking for us. I'm speaking for all of y'all. We are very outspoken. And I think the difference between us and them is that we have always been the least, the bottom of the barrel. We've always been treated like the bottom of the barrel. So when you're treated like that, you get a tough skin. And then you learn how to be masculine because now you have to defend yourself and your children. And you don't have that that component, of safety and protection and security of a man. The majority of us are, a lot of households are single, right? Single households. And I don't know much about Asian people. I don't even have an Asian friend. So I can't speak on anybody that I know personally, I think that a lot of the same things occur in all races and cultures. A lot of men are horrible and a lot of women can be horrible. But there are stereotypes that are true. And I do believe that their humility is a stereotype that is true. I think we can take a lesson from them, ladies. I really do. Now, I never said to let somebody run over you and mistreat you, but the way we behave, the way I see our women online, I don't even remember the girl's name, something Spice. She was bent over performing, jiggling her behind all over the place for an audience of mainly men. And they all was screaming out, "I'm a munch." And I'm like, what? And when you see things like that through spiritual eyes, you see the demonic force that is at play. For the crowd to be yelling out, "I'm a munch," and this is a black woman, bent over, shaking her tail, turning men on, provoking lust in men as she sings her filthy, trashy song, my God. And so when you see that, and then you see a woman who is dressed modest, behaving herself like she has dignity and family and a reputation in her family's name to uphold, right? It's a big difference from seeing somebody like that and Nicki Minaj or Cardi B and the rest of these women who are prostituted and give this face of shame and degradation to our people, as opposed to what the Chinese women are doing or the Asian women are doing. Now, like I said, the Asian women prostitute. Everybody is poor. You have all people across the board who are suffering in poverty, right? And so prostitution is rampant everywhere. And a lot of the Asian women, they say, "I love you long time," right? We heard that a long time ago. So yes, I'm not saying that they're perfect, but I'm talking about the ones who are raised properly and how they were raised and brought up to serve their man in a modest way, in a respectable, decent way, having respect for the family name, carrying yourself in a nice, demure manner. I think that's a turn on for most men. Because what the men are saying now, this gentleman who was talking in that video, he looks like he was Hispanic to me. He doesn't look Caucasian, but his skin is not that light. But it's funny because he's in a podcast with white women and they're sitting there looking like, because white women too are very, out there. The way that we dress, the way we talk, the way we behave, just so trashy. A lot of our Western women, westernized women, this movement of I could do what I want and men been doing it for years, so I want to do it too type attitude. It sucks. We're ladies for a reason. We're not supposed to be like men. We have no reason to try to keep up with them. And the men that are doing those things, they are not righteous men. They suck. Why do we want to copy bad behavior? Y'all gonna miss out if we don't get it together and learn how to take advantage of the beauty of being a woman. Listen, stop thinking negative all the time. Oh, people putting me down, looking down on me. Be graceful. Be that virtuous woman that the Bible speaks of. Be different, because we're in a world where a pool of women act just the same. Everybody looks the same and behaves the same. Our men are getting tired of it. And they have the right to get tired of it. This is not for the men who have used these type of women. I'm not talking about them, because they talk about a woman being loose, but you're laying up with her. How would you know she's loose if you wasn't up in there? How would you know? So she has to participate in an act with men for her to get that way. So a lot of these men, they are very hypocritical, because they are like, oh, I want this prim and proper woman, but they're trash themselves, running around here spreading their seed all over the place, making babies all over the place, not doing right by the women that they've been with, not taking care of their children, don't have no respect for their mama, a whole lot of stuff. So if you're going to talk about getting a woman who is virtuous, then you must be this righteous man that equals up, And so I just thought that was a good video to share, ladies, because we got work to do. We really do. We have work to do, ladies. There's nothing wrong with being feminine. Let me tell you something. I learned that when I was in my 20s, and I had met this young lady. She was in her 30s, so she was much old. She was older than me, about 10 years. And I remember at the time I had broken up with my children's father, and she said, well, what did y'all break up for? I was like, well, he's selfish. And she said, girl, most men are. You have to learn how to use your femininity to get what you want. And I see now, years later, what she's talking about. There's a way to get your husband to do whatever you want him to do. You have him eating out the palm of your hand. And I'm not talking about to mislead him, misguide him, and trick him. I'm talking about using your femininity to get what you want from your man. When you're sweet, that man gonna be sweet. He's gonna react. He's gonna react to your sweetness. Baby, I need such and such and such. And rub him, give him a little soft, little kiss on the cheek and a little rub on the shoulder and speak to him gently. You can get almost anything out of your man when he loves you and he knows you honor him. You can get anything out of him. And that's what I learned. When she told me that, she said, girl, you have to learn how to work your man, work your feminine ways on your man, and not for the negative. I don't want y'all to be talking about no gold digging type women. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about a wife and a husband. And because men and women are so different, there are things we have to do, sometimes to convince our men to do what we want them to do or what we know is right for them, ourselves, and our families. Right, ladies? And so we could take a lesson. Learn how to be more feminine, calm. And I'm talking to me too. Talking to me. I ain't just talking to you. I'm talking to me. We're too tacky, out there, naked. It's not cool. Caucasian men are getting tired of it too. They're getting tired of the attitude. They're getting tired of this feminist movement. They're getting tired of all of that. I want to go get my nails and my hair done. A face full of makeup. Half naked, don't cook, don't clean, don't do nothing in the house, not running a household properly, not mama material, not wife material, but expecting all these things from a man. Take a lesson from the Asians. We can learn something from everybody. I'm telling you. Because we, as Black women, we have a lot to offer. We have been through a lot. We have to fight a lot. And it makes you tough. And sometimes toughness is used at the wrong time toward the wrong one, especially a man who loves you. Peace, love, and blessings, family.